Matthew Tallarini from World Baseball Network. Right beside me is Friends of Hinchliffe Stadium and also operates the Hinchliffe Stadium website, Brian LoPinto. Brian, how does it feel to be here at Hinchliffe Stadium for the ribbon cutting ceremony?
I mean, it's really an amazing experience to be here today. I'm grateful that I was invited by the National Park Service to be here. On top of that, I was here for the baseball game the other day, which was the first event, which was also amazing. It was a doubleheader. And then we'll have Jackals baseball really soon. So it's a great day for baseball. It's a great day for Hinchliffe Stadium in Paterson.
And what does it mean to carry Larry Doby's legacy, let alone the history of Negro League baseball that was once planted here at Hinchliffe Stadium, and to continue to grow the legacy, tell the stories from, nearby friends and close families about all the great players that have touched Hinchliffe Stadium?
Well, first, Larry Doby is such an important part of Paterson. Wherever he had gone in life, whether it was Newark, whether it was Cleveland or Cooperstown, he always remembered Paterson. And Hinchliffe Stadium is a piece of history that will now remember him. My hope that going forward is that with the rehabilitation of Hinchliffe Stadium, that we as a society can say that both Jackie Robinson and Larry Doby integrated baseball, broke the color barrier, whatever term you want to use. So this is Larry's home. He came in as a tryout right out of high school, 1942, came in as an amateur athlete, he left as a professional, and that's very special.
And what does it mean for all the Paterson public schools to just have Hinchliffe Stadium back, and also several other sports competitions that are going to be here in the near future?
Well, that's what it's all about, right? The stadium was built for the kids in the 1930s. It is now rehabilitated. I like to call it the house that Larry Doby rebuilt. And so now these generations of kids will have that opportunity to be on the same field that Larry Doby played on. And that's a teaching moment, and that's also something that's very inspirational.
And the original configurations of Hinchliffe Stadium, we're actually standing right where home plate used to be, right between our toes. And what do you see about Hinchliffe Stadium that has such unique configurations of its past? The Polo Grounds, Crossley Field, Forbes Field, so many replicates of Major League Stadium that Hinchliffe Stadium is going to continue to grow its legacy.
Sure. Well, yeah, that's a great point. So we are standing at the original home plate. I really wish that they would have configured it for that reason, because it's the Negro League's history. It's the African American history through the Negro Leagues, why we were able to save it. So they really should have put home plate back where it belonged. It would have been better for baseball competition as well, but not the case. But still, the configuration that it was in 1932, very reminiscent of the Polo Grounds. So if you see an aerial shot of Hinchliffe Stadium, which you could easily Google, look at that side by side to the Polo Grounds, and that's the closest Major League Baseball stadium to Hinchliffe Stadium.
And what are the neat amenities that Hinchliffe Stadium will have? I mean, there's going to be several artifacts in the museum right behind us in center field. What other commemorative stuff is going to be retraced from the original landmark of Hinchliffe Stadium?
Yeah, well, the museum, which is going to be wonderful, it's going to be orchestrated by Montclair State University, thanks to a very generous donation by someone who is a philanthropist, Charles J. Muth. So it'll be the Charles J. Muth Museum at Hinchliffe Stadium. Mr. Muth grew up 2 blocks that way, and it's fantastic that he never forgot his hometown, and he's doing something so instrumental. Within the confines of the museum, there's going to be artifacts that really talk about Hinchliffe Stadium's history. On top of that, trying to partner with people that I've met over the years who own Negro Leagues memorabilia, and of course Montclair State will definitely be taking a lot of great strides to obtain those items.
So the New Jersey Jackals, they just left Yogi Berra Stadium for quite some time. Yogi Berra has his museum on the campus of Montclair State University. What's it like that the Jackals now, they get to plant their organization here at a new institution, which I would call Hinchliffe, because it is an institution? What does that mean for baseball globally and the fans?
Well, I think globally, when you talk about baseball, it really is a global game. I mean, let's take a look at the World Baseball Classic. I mean, what a tremendous event. I know you were there, I was there, I saw you down there, and it was fantastic. So I think what it does is, you kind of keeps that memory alive, because remember, the New York Cubans played here. So there's a very international feel to that. And I think for me, there are definitely those great opportunities. I know the New Jersey Jackals will be celebrating the Dominican population here in Paterson. Of course, there's a great love for baseball in the Dominican Republic. So I think there's definitely a lot of connect points that Hinchliffe Stadium will have to connect to, globally.
What is Larry Doby night for the Jackals?
Well, Larry Doby Night will be when Larry Doby Night should be, July 5th. Why July 5th? That's when he made his Major League debut. So he is actually the first player to go directly from the Negro Leagues to the Major League. So that's a really big accomplishment. He never played in minor league ball other than a rehab stint later in his career.
Well, there you have it. I mean, the festivities are going to go on for a few hours today in Patterson at Hinchliffe Stadium. I mean, this is an amazing time frame. I suggest a lot of people from the Tri-State get out to a Jackals game whenever you can at your leisure time, because Hinchliffe Stadium will definitely bring a throwback feel to any baseball fan from around the globe. Well, without any ado, my name is Matthew Tallarini from World Baseball Network, with right beside me Brian LoPinto from the Hinchliffe Stadium Historical website.